I want to start this off by reminding you that Door Kickers 2 is still very much in the early stages of development, so there isn't too terribly much to talk about, and many things in this video will most likely be changed before release. That being said, let's talk about the really cool new stuff. Classes. The classes in Door Kickers 2 are vastly different than the first game's skills-style classes, due to the fact that this game is military-themed rather than police or SWAT-themed. First, we have Assault, the most diverse and, in my opinion, best class right now. They have a decent selection of rifles, including standard battle rifles and carbines. Their weapons can use a large selection of close, mid, and long-range scopes, and they have 3 different types of ammunition that can be used that, based on their descriptions, don't really make that much sense right now. Second, we have Support. These guys rock the machine guns. They have fewer scope options and only one type of ammunition available. I've played through what bit of the campaign they have available right now, but I can't seem to find a time where they would actually be more useful than any other class. This game's style of combat doesn't really have a place for a bullet hose, or a high-capacity weapon for that matter. Most fights are very quick, and even the longer fights I've played through don't last long enough to warrant more bullets, especially when those more bullets mean a much less maneuverable and accurate weapon. Third, we have Marksman. These guys carry the mid to long range weapons that have great accuracy and stopping power, but terrible fire rates, and the only scopes they have available are mid to long range, but that does make sense. Much like the Support, I have yet to find a time where they could be better than the other classes, especially the Assault class, since you can just throw a scope on the rifle and it's effectively the exact same class, just with an objectively better weapon. Here's a clip to prove my point. Fourth and last, we have Grenadier. The only weapon currently available is an M4 with an M203 grenade launcher attachment. Practically, the Assault class beats this one as well, but there are destructible environments in this game like walls and cover. But like the Support class, this game's style of combat doesn't really lend itself to destructible environments except for breaching into a building, which you already have breaching charges, so where does this thing fit in? All classes have access to the same pistols, armor, grenades, and heavy equipment. There's only one type of armor in the game currently, the standard Ranger's armor, which does seem to take quite a bit of punishment. And the only notable heavy equipment is the wall breaching charge. One of the major high points in this video, at least for me, is the enemies. The new enemies are going to be a ton of fun to fight against. Suicide bombers that'll wreck you with the press of a button, and RPG units that can literally obliterate your entire team with a single shot. Every other enemy seems to be very standard and go down in roughly the same amount of bullets, but I'm guessing there'll be more variety. Next up is the maps. The maps in Door Kickers 2 are huge compared to the first games, and with destructible walls and cover, they can become very complex very quickly. Making sure your soldiers are facing the correct positions to fully cover the team is going to be a lot harder this time around, and take a lot more time and management. In the original, walking across these maps would take forever, which is why there's now a sprint ability. It makes a lot of noise and your soldier is unable to use his weapon while sprinting, but it helps with running from cover to cover or past deadly doorways. And another new feature are knees. The game is in 3D, so now your soldiers have the ability to crouch. This allows the soldiers behind them to fire their weapons along with being better covered behind waist-high cover. A huge problem with this, and I hope it's a problem and not intentional, but your soldiers can't fire while crouched. Not only is this counterintuitive because you think crouch down for better accuracy, but it also makes this feature almost completely useless. Next, you have the ability to climb over cover and through windows. Hopping over cover is nice and quick, but climbing through a window takes forever and can only be performed one soldier at a time. It may be realistic, but since you can't use your weapon for such a long time, you can't use it to do something like breaching a room. As far as bugs go, it's pretty rough around the edges, but it's version 0.1, so bugs can be expected and forgiven. So far, the only ones that have really screwed me over during a mission was one that happened many times where it's almost impossible to get a soldier to do what you want him to do, and then when I threw a flashbang into a room with a trajectory that the game claimed would work, the soldier just threw it into the wall and it landed right next to him and exploded. Last thing is features that this game is missing. Obviously a lot of weapons, attachments, and stats on the guns, but also customization. I know in the last game you could only change your unit's portrait, but even that's not in this yet. And I'm hoping they actually make a customization system to the game. Even being able to set armor colors would be cool. That's really the only things I've found so far in this very early version of the game. I can't wait for more to be added to it because I love the first one and I'm genuinely enjoying this one even if it is so early in development and so bug-ridden. But that's it for this video. Put thoughts, concerns, and comments down below. If you liked the video, hit the like button. And if you want to see more content like this and more, subscribe to the channel. This is Mitchell Godsend. Have a good one.